Welcome to Home and Away, a podcast hosted by myself, Graeme Spice, and Glen Cowie, where we talk about all things Tottenham Hotspur from both the match attending and international supporters' view. This episode, we'll be talking about the loss away at Sunderland last week and Saturday's home match against Brighton. A lot to get through, so let's get into it.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on, closer each day, home and away.
Glenn, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm wearing my, I'm channeling my Italia 90 World Cup
Very nice.
t-shirt today.
Channeling the spirit of Gazza's tears.
Yeah, the spirit of Gascoigne. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Do I have to do a Lineker and like the...
Yeah, exactly. Watch him. Yeah. I'm doing all right. I personally...
Is that also the... Is that all... Was it that tournament where he shat himself on the pitch?
He did.
Lineker.
I think it was against Ireland.
But was it Belgium?
Yeah.
Was it? Or no, it was...
And it was raining. And yeah, he just kind of used the pitch as a...
good
was
times.
Was it against Ireland or Belgium? I have to find it. But yes,
Yeah.
it did happen. But no, I'm doing all right.
Good, fond memories.
Yeah, better memories than what we're having at the moment. I took a day off yesterday because it's school holidays. So I took Iris, my daughter, bowling and went for lunch and yeah, hung out. But no, I'm well. Other than what we're here to talk about, really. We were just talking off
Indeed.
air. You know, I think I'm in a similar headspace to you. I was texting with a mate actually out of nowhere. Actually, I don't speak to him that often. He's more of a client / mate. He's a Spurs fan from England. I hadn't heard from him for a while, and he texted me at like 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning because he'd been watching the Leeds game, and he was just saying how it was a shocking decision to send. I haven't seen any of it. Was it Martinez that got sent off for a hair pull?
Yeah, well, it was terrible.
Yeah. But anyway, I texted him and I just said, I've just accepted our fate at this point. And he said, I actually haven't. I think if you think of Everton, they were 5 points from safety in that one season and they got out of it.
Yeah, but they knew out. They've always been fighting for their lives.
Yeah. The difference with us and them is after watching that on Monday, for me, it's just the same things, isn't it? It's like I'm convinced that I'm back to where I was, that they just don't care. Like it's almost like it's either shell shock
or they're paralysed with fear.
Yeah. The fear of it, or shell shocked, or call it what you will. And maybe I'm being a little too harsh on him, but Romero's tears for me were more about the fact that he might miss the World Cup and nothing to do with our plight.
Yeah,
that's my personal view. The quicker we get rid of him, the better. Honestly, there's so many. Stay up or not, there's so many players in that squad that I will not be unhappy to see the back of. I'm sick to the back.
I watched a video earlier
and just letting us down.
I watched a video earlier with, I can't remember, one of the podcasters. It was quite interesting because he basically went, right, this is what next season's championship season squad looks like. He said, this from the current squad. These are the ones that we will definitely sell. Ones that we might send out on loan, maybe for a season, on the basis that maybe if we go up, they come back and play with us again. And then these are the ones which we'll keep. We definitely would want to build a team around to come back up with. And it was like there was about 14 players on the sell list. I think he's lost his... Do you know, I've really noticed a change in a complete switch in sentiment generally across the podcast and YouTube sphere. All the people I've seen have almost just accepted fate now. It feels like I can't see. You know, I think I said when we were chatting in WhatsApp with some of the other guys, we now need a 50% win rate for the last 6 games of the season, which we haven't done since Pochettino, I don't think. So. It'll be a miracle if we do it.
My positivity and my prediction last week, and I probably should have put more context around it. It wasn't anything to do with the fact that I thought we had maybe the players or the ability, or we probably do, but it was more just having the hope that we might get a new manager bounce. Like that was my thing. Like that was what I was basing that on. I'm not seeing that. Again,
I think we weren't far off getting a point out of that game, right? It was a really unlucky goal that we conceded, but the fact that someone got into a shooting position again around the edge of the box, which is the story of our season, it seems. Yeah. The amount of goals we've conceded from around that part of the pitch is high, right? But we just didn't look. We looked like we could have played until tonight and not scored. Really didn't look. Well, we had in the first minute, I think we had a chance. But it was really.
penalty. What did you think of the penalty that was overturned?
I
I've seen VAR.
but if Romero had done it, it was a pen.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I've seen
also
VAR.
the push on Romero that caused the injury. Did you see how badly Kinski's head was?
Yeah.
His hair was bloody afterwards, wasn't it?
Did Brobby even get a booking for that?
No, nothing.
I mean, that was just so. Whilst it wasn't like a 2-footed challenge or from behind, it was cynical. Like, you don't need to do that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just. He's horrible, that Brubby. Like, he's horrible.
Yeah.
You know, he reminds me of his Emil Heskey in terms of how he plays.
He's not that bad, is he?
I put him in that realms. Like, he's just a lump. He's an absolute lump. But
I think there's some things that for me just didn't work at all. Again, it was the squad. The first 11 that we put out was too workmanlike.
Yeah.
No creativity again. You got three strikers along the front, and then 3 fairly workmanlike midfielders. Bergval's not a 10.
no, I said that.
Not in any.
He's a
he's
number
not.
8, really. He's a number
The
8.
problem is we had 3 number 8s effectively on the pitch. Gallagher, you would have been hard pushed to notice he was on the pitch for most of the game. Bergvall misplaced a lot of passes as well and got caught in possession. I thought he had a poor game by his own standards.
You make a good point on creativity. Like, Xavi must be training appallingly to not.
He must be such a bad player on the training pitch.
Yeah, or bad attitude.
Because that's 3 managers in a row that have basically not wanted to rely on him, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing wrong. Maybe we'll never find out, but I don't think he would have left him out. He'd been talking him up in the week as well, hadn't he?
Yeah. I sent an interesting article out to a few mates here. I should forward it to you. It's on The Athletic, and basically it talks about how Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool are all using academy talent. Like, you look at Arsenal as an example, they needed something against Bournemouth, which thankfully they didn't end up getting, but Arteta turns to a 16-year-old Max Downham, and we keep being told we've got this talent in the academy, which by all accounts is true. We've got some really good stuff going on in the academy, but they don't get a kick at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's just befuddling to me that they don't get a look in. Like, I think it was for the first time in X amount of months or years where the squad on against Sunderland, there was not one academy. I think it was only at Austin on the bench. That was it.
Really? Wow.
There was no other academy representation in there. So that's another problem for me. But, I mean, do you see any way to get out of this? Or we're saying, like, psychologically we've accepted it, but do you see if we beat Brighton, like, do you see any were there any green shoots for you? Anything at all?
No, not really. It was, but I don't know what we expect. I think that you've got, a finite pool of players. All of them are completely out of form, and there's only so many ways you can set them up. And I think we've tried every single way to set them up. I don't know. I just don't know what else to do. I think he's just going to manage the next few games, and then we start a rebuild. And I think it needs gutting anyway. Even if we were to stay up, this lot needs binning off. However we ended up here with the squad that we've got, even if individually some of those players are good, and I reckon some of these players will go on and they'll have very good careers, they'll do really well at other clubs, but this particular combination of players with a lack of leadership, with a lack of cohesiveness, seeming the lack to even play basic passing to each other sometimes, it's just not working. And I don't think this is not something that needs tweaking around the edges, like 1 or 2 changes. I think, and it's a stupid thing to say, right? But maybe going down does allow us to restart this from scratch. But at what cost? In $500 million probably cost. But
that's the number.
Even if we stay up, I would gut this squad. I would gut it. Yeah, we'll see.
It goes back to my point where we've had Mickey van der Ven come out in the press conference, I think a while ago, saying it's nonsense that there's players that don't care, and then you get the social media posts. It's got beyond that now, isn't it? They look just an absolute shell of any semblance of professional footballer, be it Premier League or Championship, and I'm sick and tired. And it's funny, right? Because one could point at me and say, well, hang about, Glenn. This group of players won a trophy last season. But this group of players have continuously come out and back themselves and then fail. And I'm just sick of watching it. And I think the only player that I think comes out of this season, stay up or go down with any credibility, is probably Archie Gray.
I'd just build a team around him. I'd make him captain.
But when he signed, let's say we go down, when he signed, I think his agent or him had aspirations to play in the Championship. Probably not. So Man United are sniffing around him, apparently. So his agent will be in his ear. So there's no guarantee that they stay.
Well, this is why when I said that this guy who was talking about maybe players that we might put out on loan for a season, and I think, for instance, Vuskovic wants to play with his brother, maybe to keep him, that we signs a contract extension, but does another loan at Hamburg for a season, but then to be honest, we kind of think we need him. He would be a perfect player for us for a Championship attack. Yeah, it's a tough one.
But it's funny, right? I was talking to a Liverpool fan the other day, good bloke, Irish guy, and we were chatting, and he started to go through our next few fixtures and said, "Oh, well, yeah, but this is where your wins could come from: Brighton, Wolves, Leeds." And I'm like, mate, I said, the trouble with you is you don't watch us, do you?
We're much more likely to pick up a point against Villa and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make any sense.
And look, logic should say a home game against Brighton, an away game against bottom of the table Wolves, and a home game against Leeds should be 9 points. We should, maybe would, but we fucking won't.
Yeah.
Like,
did you see any difference between like Tudor and De Zerbi? Did you see anything of him in the way that we played? The only thing I could think of was more build up from the back, more playing out from the back again.
And we were on the front foot in the first half in particular. Like, we looked a bit more
at
it. We were awarded a penalty, so that's a win, right? We were actually awarded a penalty, yay.
Yeah. And then it had taken it from our
grasp. It had taken away. My problem with it was, to your point, it was an incredibly rigid midfield, like full of runners, not passers, right? And it was the age-old thing. Okay, let's live in a different world that Romero was crying because we're going to go down and we're 1-0 down and it's not looking good. There was still 25 minutes of the game left, Graeme, when he goes off. So when your captain's behaving like that, what message does that send to the rest of the team?
Yeah.
The captain's injured. Okay, still give him a G up, rally him. Come on, boys. Like, we've got Danso coming on. Like, come on, Danso, get involved. But none of that's there.
And even at the end of the match, they're all sitting around on the ground like they've just lost a cup final.
Yeah.
So it shows you where their heads are at. They're all. I just think this is too big. This is too big an issue for them to deal with.
The only positive I'll take two positives actually, is after the game, the Derby did seem to lean on the fact, he said, this is not tactics, this is not systems, this is all mental. I need to turn their I need to
get in their heads.
What that means is, I don't know. And then the other positive, take this for what it's worth, and maybe he can play centre back. I don't know if you caught on it during watching the game. Michael Dawson was sat next to Johan.
Yeah, I saw that. I was hoping he was going to throw him off the top tier.
Yeah, agreed. But why was he there? I don't think he'd be there just as a guest. If he was there as a guest to the club, it seems weird to me. You do that kind of a thing for an ex-player at home, not away.
Yeah.
And he's strategically sat next to the director of football. Is he being sounded out or hired in some capacity, which I would support? He's an ex-Tottenham boy. He's a no-nonsense talker. He's actually a really good pundit as well, in terms of he speaks sense. So maybe he's going to be part of some kind of setup, whether we go down or not. But yeah, I'm almost like beyond worried. I'm just a bit numb to it. Like,
I just don't. I honestly, I would flip a coin for the last 6 games results now and not have to watch them if I could.
Right.
I'd rather just know and be put out of my misery at this point.
I touched on Everton, right? That they were 5 points adrift and they got out of it.
But I think 2 games to go.
Yeah, but I think they got out of it because, one, they'd been accustomed to being in that position a fair bit, and 2, their fans were accustomed to that, so their fans got involved and got behind them. Even our fan base is shell-shocked, like, in terms of...
Well, the thing is, like, it's like for the Forest game, we put everything into some kind of big parade, hurrah, welcome them to the stadium, and then they shit the bed on the pitch. And so I'm not surprised that it was going to be done again for this Brighton match. but De Zerbi's told the players to turn up in their cars early so that they don't have to do it. I just don't think it helps. I think it's just additional pressure for them, and they're not even capable of coping in normal environment. But to heap that on them, it just I just mentally I think they're shot, and I don't know. I hope he finds some way of rousing them enough to start picking up points. But my worry as well is right. We're literally gonna go out with a whimper if we're not careful. And you have to. I mean, I think that one of the reasons this season has been so poor is last season was poor as well. So it's kind of habit forming. So my worry is we get relegated. There'll be players who haven't won a match for half a season, and they don't even know what it feels like to win a Premier League match. So, and then they're going to go into the Championship, which is going to be an absolute grind. It's going to be a really tough season.
And
Saturday, Tuesday.
Someone messaged me about the fact that they were coming at it from an angle that it's a positive thing that the playoffs have been expanded. And I said, that's a negative for me. That just creates
even more games.
Yeah, more games and more jeopardy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've only got to look in the Championship at a team like Southampton, right? They were, and I'm a little more across Southampton for two reasons. One, my uncle supports them on my mum's side, and I've got a mate who's Southampton, and also our good guest Richard in New Zealand. He's from the area, so he keeps us informed. They were out of it, right? They were down. They were looking very poor. I think they were fifth bottom, and they got rid of Will Steele. They have gone on an absolute tear. They're 3 points off automatic promotion, right? Yeah. That can happen in the Championship. So if we're fucking doddering about 6th or 7th place and you get a team just going on a tear.
Who's in the bottom 5 now? There's some big names down there.
Wednesday, Leicester, Oxford United, West Brom, Blackburn. So I tell you
Leicester
what.
won the league.
Listen.
9 years ago, didn't they?
The bottom 5 in the Championship, you've got 2 former Premier League winners in there, Blackburn Rovers and Leicester City. Tells you everything. Yeah. There's no guarantees that we don't do the same.
Blackburn have been down there for a long time now as well, haven't they?
And do you know why 10 years or something? Do you know why they've been down there? Poor ownership, poor leadership.
Yeah, all of the reasons that we're in trouble now.
Well, exactly the same reasons as us. And so this notion from arrogant fans that we're just bounce right back. No, we fucking won't.
It's going to be, if we come back up, it will be through hard work.
Yeah. And that's exactly what that league requires.
Which is why I think we need a completely different set of players to get out.
So I'm conscious of aging you, but how old were you when we last went down? Because I wasn't born.
6. I was 6.
So you wouldn't quite remember it then, I would assume.
Not really. No.
Yeah. My dad's been messaging me, and he obviously has very acute memories of it. And he goes, I remember where I was. But the funny thing was, what he did say, he goes, the season that we ended up in the lower league, he goes, it was actually quite a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because you go to all weird and wonderful places, but that was a different time.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think this is the difference now is the gulf. I mean, the thought of some of them, I've got to be careful what I say here because we're going to be playing them next season, probably. Like Lincoln coming to a 62,000 seater stadium, with a retractable pitch and a fucking go-kart track. And, it's just insane, isn't it? It's, I don't know.
Essentially, you go to the Championship and you look at probably 60 to 70% of our fixtures are essentially no different to like an FA Cup 3rd or 4th round game. And that's what they feel like.
And I think that's the number of people you'll see in the stadium as well.
Correct. And then also what that feeds into is they want to come and upset us.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's going to be coming to win.
Huge.
I mean, if you look even this season, right, there's been a lot of league games and certainly the cup games where we've struggled to get 50,000 people in the stadium.
Yeah. It's funny, after the Sunderland game, I was talking to Lindsay and we were having a cup of tea and I turned to her and I said, how do I switch off caring? And she goes, well, what do you mean? You're still going to support them, right? And I go, no. If we go down, of course I'll still support Tottenham and I'll still do the podcast and I'll still tune in. I'm talking about right now, right this moment. How can I turn off fucking caring? Because that's how I felt on the Sunderland game. It's like, they don't fucking care. Why am I bothering?
Yeah.
It's like
you can't channel your energy into them. It just does.
Yeah.
And it is, I found it a really hard watch.
Oh,
it was
mate.
like numb watch.
The Brighton
really.
game, this Brighton game, and we can go to predictions in a bit, but like obviously the international angle of our whole podcast is so it's a 2:30 a.m. kickoff for me Sunday morning, so I won't be watching.
You won't be getting up for that bad boy, will you?
I will absolutely not be getting up. But also, I'm almost to the point, Graeme, where I might just fucking check the score and just be like, "Yay, we won."
I know what you mean.
But that removes something in my life that's been. I mean, look around, like this wall you can't see, but it's decked out in all Tottenham. They mean an awful lot to me, but it's fucking hard to turn it.
It is.
I mean, it's a real shame on where we are as a club at the moment.
And I think that actually this match against Brighton, the football itself aside, it's kind of it could be two polar opposite clubs in terms of one's really organised, well run, has fantastic recruitment, buys and sells players at the most opportune peak times, and always has a succession plan for players and managers. So they've, how many managers they've moved on and they've been able to replace and carry on doing really well. Players, they've sold hundreds of millions of pounds worth of players, mostly at Chelsea.
Well, and arguably said players have not gone on to perform as well as they did at Brighton.
So that it's just a really, really well-structured, well-run club. And we are an absolute basket case in comparison.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so, and it's not about money. It is not about money. They have not spent a lot of money. They've spent money, but they've not spent, we're up there with some of the biggest spenders in the Premier League. And it's just been so poorly spent in comparison.
Yeah. And I know where we finished last season league-wise, it's not that different, but we were never in danger of relegation. But this could not be more stark. Like, we're short of a month away from when you sent me the audio and the footage of you and Josh, right, in the stadium when we won the final, and when you went up to Tottenham for the trophy.
Parade,
yeah, like it couldn't be the feeling and the connection that
the next one could be a championship.
Well,
playoff winners.
My view on that is if we go down and then we do win the league, do not fucking crow about that. Just fucking win it and come back up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't even want to put that one in the trophy cabinet.
No, it's a shocker.
Or just pretend like that season never happened, right?
Yeah. Well, it's quite ironic, isn't it, that we're almost exactly 50 years, is it, from when it happened before? Or is it more than that?
There's 49, I think.
Yeah, so it's 70. Yeah. Was it the 76, 77 season?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think if you when you consider how long have Brighton been in the Premier League now, it's not that many years, is it?
It's less than a decade, I think. Just
and now you compare where they are and where we are.
Well,
how far away are we from being that well run, that well organised, with playing that style of football? Even
the thing is, the other team we've got to play as well is another comparison is Villa. Now I remember playing Villa first game of the season. It would have been 2019-2020 season. We played them at home. It was on Dembele's debut. He actually scored. They'd just come up from the Championship, right?
Yeah,
it's 7 years ago, right? We've got the spanking
sliding doors moment.
Yeah, we'd just come off the back of obviously runner-up in the Champions League. We'd made a few signings that summer, but that was our first game of the season. Championship for them, they'd come up, and we're obviously a well-established Premier League team thinking of the top 3, top 2 or more. And now look at it, right?
Yeah.
Look where Villa are, look where we are. And it is sliding doors.
Well, even like we've had Newcastle significantly gone past us as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like and again, nobody's been able to spend more money than us.
Correct.
It isn't about how much money we spent. We've just absolutely pissed it up the wall, haven't we?
I don't know how Johan Langer is still walking the halls of Tottenham Hotspur.
I don't know how he's got the balls to not have resigned by now.
Yeah.
Did you see how much money, by the way, that we had to pay Donna Cullen and
was it
6.6 million?
Yeah, 6.6 mil.
And 16 to Levy.
I've got a view on Levy. As you know, I've always was somewhere in the middle on his good or bad in terms of for Tottenham Hotspur. We were never in this position under Levy. Now, many would point and say, oh, yeah, but he's been part of the problem. I don't think we'd be in the position we are under him. I think he would have got rid of Frank after the West Ham game. I think there was always room for Daniel Levy to remain at the club. Maybe it leans to the fact that he was a bit of a control freak, that it's all gone so wrong since he's left. Like, I think he was a club everything.
I think maybe that's half the problem. When you've had someone who's been so controlling for so long.
He did. Maybe he didn't delegate as well as he could and should have.
But that now means that there's a kind of lack of structure and coordination of it all, it feels. Because the people in charge now don't feel like very hands-on people.
Not at all.
Only on the money.
For me, don't rule out the possibility of a consortium that involves Levy buying the club in the future. And
it would make sense because he already owns a chunk.
Correct. And
so they wouldn't have to buy much more to have a controlling interest.
Is I don't know why, and maybe they have looked at this, and we've covered this a little bit, but I still am banging the drum of Enick, Lewis family, whatever. Just divest the football part of it, and then we'll lease the stadium back of you for a 1,000-year lease, and the football is owned by XYZ, and you keep the business part, where it's the NFL, the concerts, the go-karting, all of that. Because their argument will be, but that needs to sustain the football. Well, it's not worked, has it?
It's not. You're not doing it anyway. So why? What's the point?
Yeah, you're not doing it anyway. So divest the football part, give that to somebody who actually invests in it, and keep everything else. Fine. Yeah, it's just I'm bereft of ideas, confidence. I will watch the Brighton game. I'm sure I will, with some kind of hope. Now, I'm going to ask you the dreaded question. Are you going?
No, I'm not going. No, not a fucking chance.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah.
I don't think I want to go again this season. I feel that it'd be that damaging to my health.
Well,
I just don't think I can do it.
But this is the thing. It's time, it's money, it's getting there, it's the food, it's all of the things that come with going to support a team.
Yeah, and I really miss wanting to go. It's so stupid. It's so I literally every time I drag myself there, it's against my better judgment. I don't think there's been a game that I've really enjoyed for quite a while.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Very bad. Pivoting to the Brighton game in terms of a prediction lineup. I mean, do you think he'll make changes?
I think so.
From the Sunderland game.
I think so, because it didn't work.
Yeah.
And if he was worried about losing a bit of shielding for the defence by playing Xavi, then maybe he needs Palhinha as one of the double pivot.
Yeah.
Maybe him and Gray, or him and Bergvall and Xavi in front of them. Maybe gives us a bit more attacking intent. But then the front three, I don't know what we need to do to get them to remember how to score. It's like,
take it for what it's worth. This is what I have the app FotMob, which is quite good actually for football following stuff. But they've got Porro, Dragusin, Van der Ven, Udogie. I don't think that'll be. I think it'll be Danso alongside Van der Ven.
I do as well.
And then you've got Gray. They've got Gray holding, and then they've got Gallagher and Bergvall ahead. I do agree with Gray, but I think either Gallagher or Bergvall makes way for Xavi. And then they've got Moani, Solanke, Richarlison. I mean, that's the same three that started. I mean, Romero out, Vicario doubtful, Odegaard out, Davies out, Bentancur, Kudos out, Madison, of course.
Bentancur is supposed to be back.
Yeah, it says here late April. So what the fuck does that mean?
So they keep moving it 2 or 3 weeks every week.
Yeah. Well, and also, but back to my point with the article, which
I did also see Madison's back out training with the players, and he may play some part.
And he's the one that I'm holding on to, that we can receive a few cameos from him, but the cameos he comes on makes a difference. He's the type of player that all you need to give him is 15, 20 minutes, and he can pick a pass and unlock something. Yeah. And maybe that can be the difference. I'm not expecting him to come and play 90 minutes, 65 minutes even, because you've been out that long. I just don't see it. And he does seem to like Spurs. You know, that's one thing I'll say. He does really seem to like us. And there was that footage of him training in the 94, 95 away kit. Like, he does seem to like Spurs. I mean, let's hope that he can be in the matchday squad and feature somehow. But as far as the prediction goes,
you're looking at squad now. I don't think Romero plays for us again.
Fine.
Just won't be available till the end of the season, and then he'll go.
Yep.
Who else? I'm not even sure Kudos plays for us again.
Yeah, but I mean, 50 million, you've only got to divide the transfer fee by the number of years the contract was, and that gives you a kind of idea on salaries on. So he's probably on 200 grand a week. There's no way he stays. You know, he probably goes Saudi for a season or something, so he can go and get paid and come back. You know, but as far as prediction goes, I mean, on a season where we're playing well and we're not in this plight, I would still say, I don't know, could be a draw. So I'm going to say a draw. I think we'll get a draw, but that's not going to be. That's another 2 points dropped. But you see it any other way?
I was thinking a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
And that's me being at my most optimistic.
Yeah. I'm not saying that this happens, but if we did get a win, then maybe that can breed the confidence that we need, and then we go into the
Is it Wolves next?
I think it's Wolves after this. But the fact of the matter is, Graeme, if we don't beat Wolves and we don't beat Leeds, then we don't deserve.
No.
And I've just seen, off the back of Villa's semi-final they're going to have against Forest, interestingly enough. So
I saw that.
Semi-final. Our game was originally scheduled for Saturday lunch on May 2nd, but now it's Sunday night at 7 p.m. away to Villa.
Great. I bet that everyone will love going all the way to Birmingham at 7 o'clock on a Sunday evening.
Ridiculous. So it's Brighton, Wolves, Villa, Leeds. So, yeah.
And then what? Chelsea, Everton.
Chelsea away, Everton at home. Yeah. Well,
it could be over by the Chelsea game already.
That would be a sad state of affairs, wouldn't it? We'd go there relegated. That'd sum us up, really, wouldn't it? Well, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for our listeners and viewers, I need to bounce because I've got a commitment to get Liam somewhere. It's coming up to that time. So sorry we're not more positive to everybody, but I don't... Look, and as always, get in touch with us. Comments on our YouTube, please tell us if you've got reasons or something we should be positive about.
Are we missing? What are we missing?
Yeah, what are we
missing?
Let us know. Or tell us you'd like to come on and tell us what we're missing. We'd be glad to have you.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I could do with someone with a bit of positivity.
Yeah.
There's only so we can't kick. Usually it needs one of us to at least have something going. Yeah. Even your optimistic 3-1 prediction for last week was
based solely on new manager bounce, which doesn't seem to exist at Tottenham.
No, we just bounced.
Yeah, exactly. Bounce out of there. Well, that's all from me. So as always from me, maybe a slightly meek come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, thanks for everyone who's listened in. Please like and subscribe to the podcast to tick all the algorithms so we can get in front of more Spurs supporters. And as Glenn said, come on, you Spurs.
Let me be the one that you turn to.